go down that road. Because if you think that your own...
I'll turn it off. What was the song?
Oh, what a throwback. It was Apologize. Specifically, the Timbaland One Republic collaboration. I said it's too late to apologize.
That was...
It's too late.
My first car, that was one of the albums I listened to on my way to college, back to school. So I got a car my senior year of college. And my dad had to fight with my mom to give me the privilege, the right to drive my car back. Because she was like, no, your car stays here. It's like, no, I didn't pay this money for a car to be at home. No. So I drove from Nashville to Tuskegee, and it was that album. It was Infinity on High, and there was a Snoop Dogg album that had just dropped also. I just rotated them on through. It's good stuff. Good times. 2007.
It was like the most played song in radio history at that time.
Oh, my gosh. Shockwave. Was that volume 2 or volume 3?
Volume 2, I want to say.
Yes. Oh, what a time.
What a song, also.
Oh, yeah.
I was listening to it. Oh, yeah.
Yeah, something about that. Timbaland in the 2000s, man. There was something special about him.
So good.
It was good stuff.
I'm holding on your rope, got me 10 feet off the ground. It came up and I immediately was like, yes! Great song.
Great song. Good
Great
song.
day.
Is it?
It's a draft day.
Okay. Which draft? NFL or ours?
Both.
Okay.
I love a double draft day. I love a double D day.
Oh, double
Ooh,
D's.
double D day.
Great double D's.
Someone called Kevin Costner. It's time to draft.
Oh, from the movie.
Yeah.
I don't know why I was thinking of the other Kevin, the funny Kevin James.
Wrong Kevin.
Yeah, a lot of Kevins.
Sometimes.
Kevin James, Kevin Costner, Kevin
Kevin
Spacey, Kevin Hart.
Kevin Love. Kevin Durant. Kevin! It's Thursday, April 25th. Gonna be a good day, everybody. Jessica Benson with you from the Grind City Media Studios in Memphis, Tennessee. CJ Hurt behind the glass. Coming up, it is NFL Draft Day. Teresa Walker is gonna join us in the second segment to get us all primed and prepped. The Celtics would probably like everyone to focus on the draft and spend no time on their loss to the Heat last night, but too bad. So sad. Heat culture was at it again with a surprising win in Game 2. Meanwhile, the Thunder went up 2-0 on the Pelicans. We'll get into all the NBA action. It is also a draft day of our own. We are drafting best sports uniforms of all time, all sports, all eras. We will see what we come up with. And then we'll end with a little Theater Thursday, some movie news from the week. It is almost Friday. We will have a fun one. Let's go.
Don't Worry, Be Fluffy World Tour.
The minute you get into a brand new relationship, like magic, you know who really notices just how happy you are, guys? Other women, not your woman. Look how happy he is. I bet I can change that.
Friday, May 10th, FedEx Forum. Get your tickets now at fluffyguy.com. Don't miss a Memphis Don't Worry, Be Fluffy World Tour.
Hey Grizzlies fans, after exciting hoops and a lucky night of gaming, where do you rest your head? Look no further than Southland Casino Hotel, proud sponsor of the Memphis Grizzlies. Our high-rise hotel is the epitome of luxury and comfort. Picture this, you've just finished an evening of gaming and dining, so you head on over to one of our 300 rooms to end the night. Choose from standard, suite, and presidential suite, plus we're pet-friendly and offer mobility scooters for rent. It's a seamless experience for everyone. And don't miss the Main Street Exchange, right in the heart of our casino lobby. Whether you're craving a snack, or need a souvenir of your stay, we've got you covered. From polo shirts to shot glasses, take a piece of the Southland excitement home with you. So come stay and play at Southland Casino Hotel, where every moment is designed for your enjoyment. Book your hotel stay by calling 833-703-3350 or visit online at southlandcasinohotel.com/hotel.
Guests must be 21 years of age or older to check in at hotel. Must be 21 plus. Play responsibly. For help quitting, call 800-522-4700.
Let's face it, there's a lot of trash talk in basketball, but the great teams let their performance do the talking. Like Ford F-150 with Pro Power on board, a class-exclusive industry-first feature that turns your truck into a mobile generator and leaves the competition speechless. Ford F-150, official truck of the Grizzlies. Greatness starts here at your Mid-South Ford dealer. Class is full-size pickups under 8,500 pounds, GVWR.
Justin Timberlake. The Forget Tomorrow World Tour. Live in Memphis. Justin Timberlake. FedEx Forum, Saturday, November 23rd. Get tickets now at livenation.com. The brand new single Selfish is available to stream and download now. For more, hit up justintimberlake.com.
Heart Royal Flush Tour 2024. November 14th, FedEx Forum. A journey through the hits and timeless classics. The iconic band returns with special guests. Jason Bonham's Led Zeppelin Evening. Tickets on sale now at heart-music.com. Heart with Jason Bonham's Led Zeppelin Evening. Produced by AEG Presents.
I've cuddled a time or two in my life.
We are the right.
I've cuddled too.
I've cuddled a time or two in my
heights,
life.
We're the right. Just
Yeah, and
size
I think sometimes you're cuddling and you're like, man, I don't know if this fits the right way.
Or I was with someone who had like a baseball injury once, and so like his arm couldn't handle, like he physically couldn't.
He had to say, I would love to cuddle you, but I tore my rotator cuff.
I physically cannot.
What a wild deal.
The Gary Parrish Show, live weekdays at 10 a.m. on YouTube at Grind City Media and the official Grind City Media app.
Feels great to feel the sunshine. Gotta own the day like it's all mine. Just got paid in his own time. Been working hard, I've been on the grind. I deserve this feeling, having my way. I've been on this healing. This is my day. The sun's out, let's have a little fun now. I wanna let it all out. That's what it's all about. Cause I deserve this feeling, having my way. I deserve this healing. This is my day.
Grind City Media presents The Jessica Benson Show with CJ Hurt. Live from the Grind City Media Studios on YouTube at Grind City Media and the official Grind City Media app.
What's up, everybody? Happy Thursday. It is a perfect day, April 25th. A perfect day because it's not too hot. It's not too cold. All you need is a light jacket. Name that movie.
Oh, she's got to have it.
You can do it. No.
She's all that?
No.
How to Lose a Guy in 10 Days?
No, but good guesses.
Oh, say it again. What's the line?
It stars Sandra Bullock.
Okay.
But she did not say the line. April 25th.
Mean Girls.
Somebody asked the question, what is your perfect date? And the woman goes, I would have to say April 25th because it's not too hot, it's not too cold.
Princess Diaries?
No, that's Anne Hathaway.
Oh, I'm getting them confused.
I know, they kind of, Sandra Bullock and Anne Hathaway.
Sandra Bullock.
Energy.
Blindside.
Yes!
Miss Congeniality.
She famously went to Michael Orr and he said, this is the perfect day.
Hey,
yes, Miss Congeniality. You got it.
People in chat.
Miss Congeniality.
Yeah.
Great film.
You know what? I was joking at first, listening to them all.
Yeah.
Because I knew for a fact it was Mean Girls. And then you said Sandra Bullock. I was like, oh no, wait a second.
I do quote Mean Girls often, but I would say Miss Congeniality is my guaranteed April 25th quote. It is a perfect day. It is NFL Draft Day. Do-do-do-do, with the first pick in the 2024 NFL Draft, the Chicago Bears pick Caleb Williams, the prince of the NFL. That will likely be what happens tonight. I am excited for no more smoke
Wait,
screens.
how is he royalty?
He's the prince. He's not royalty. You didn't see
Why?
this? You didn't see that one anonymous scout in the character issues that they're making up about Caleb Williams? The concern is that he's too much like Prince. Like one GM told, I think it was The Athletic.
Like Prince the artist?
Yeah, like Prince the artist. Like Purple Rain.
So he's too phenomenal at his job.
That's what I think.
He
he
does
has
too
flair,
many.
but he's awesome.
Does too many diverse things at his craft. There's a person behind me also. It's Take a Kid to Work Day, so that's why she's back there. What?
Yeah.
What a dumbass complaint.
What a dumb quote.
Listen.
What if the Minnesota Vikings? Just kidding.
They should.
They're gonna trade up. Likely are gonna trade up.
They should trade up and try and get him.
But
perfect. They can't because the Bears already traded their quarterback.
Oopsie.
So the Bears are
Daisy.
taking. How surprised would you be?
Oh, shocked.
If Caleb Williams doesn't go first.
Absolutely flabbergasted. Like, that would be the draft surprise of all surprises because they only worked out one quarterback, him, and he only worked out with one team, the Chicago Bears. So I don't think there's going to be much surprise at the number one pick. Teresa Walker is going to join us in the next segment, and we will go through all things NFL draft with her, what she expects the Tennessee Titans to do. Do they stay with their pick at 7? Are they perhaps the trade partner for the Vikings or another team who tries to trade up? Titans trade back. Yes, CJ?
I've thought about this.
You leaned forward.
I would take Brock Bowers.
Oh.
And we're, all right, if Will Levis is who your director thinks he is, who that other guy downstairs
He's ours. We have to share him.
No, I'm not sharing that big buffoon. No. Who's blocking? With all those weapons, he doesn't need anybody to block. Joe Burrow made it work with no offensive line and just a bunch of weapons around. Yeah, he doesn't. Okay, well, tough. Tough. Did he get to a Super Bowl? Is that what this is about? He doesn't have a shoulder anymore. Also, Will Levis is a much larger quarterback than Joe Burrow, so he should be able to eat those hits. Ben Roethlisberger ate those hits. Cam Newton ate those hits. Big quarterbacks. Josh, I almost said Rosen. What's the good Josh's name? Buffalo Bills.
Josh Allen.
Josh Allen eats those hits.
We were talking about Josh Rosen before the show.
We were.
Do you remember when Josh Rosen had a hot tub in his dorm room at UCLA?
Nope.
I do.
Didn't follow Josh Rosen
Not
at
like
all.
I was in it, just from the internet.
You weren't?
No.
You didn't kick it at UCLA in the Josh Rosen hot tub?
I did kick it at UCLA.
You were a little old
past
for
my
Josh
time.
Rosen, weren't you?
Yeah. I was already in the real world.
Yeah. Oh, that shit sucks. I'm
Josh
sorry.
Rosen would have crushed the NIL days.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
He was that type of quarterback, and he was in Glamour City,
Glamour
LA.
City, USA.
Yeah. Yeah. It would have worked. But no, I'd get him another weapon and say, hey, let's go, Will.
I'd love for them to take one of the receivers. I like Brock Bowers a lot, but whether it be Roma Dunze or if Neighbors is, I think that could be an actual surprise if Neighbors were taken ahead of Marvin Harrison.
Maserati?
Maserati Marv, excuse me. I forgot to use his government name. Forgive me. I'll be better. By the time we're talking about it tomorrow, I'll remember it's Maserati Marv and nothing else. We do have to talk about the NBA playoffs last night because the haunting of Heat culture struck the Boston Celtics yet again. I was sucked into a docuseries last night that we'll talk about in Theater Thursday, but I was so invested in this episode, I did not think that I needed to partake in Game 2 between the Celtics and the Heat because Game 1 had been such a complete thrashing on the part of the Boston Celtics, and I said, I'll just keep up with it from the side. And by keeping up with it from the side, all of a sudden, I got a notification that the Miami Heat had made 19 threes and were up going into the fourth quarter. And I thought to myself, there is just no way. But that's stupid because it's the Miami Heat. And of course there is a way. And with no Jimmy Butler and no Terry Rozier and the Heat as the 8th seed going up against the big bad world beaters, the Boston Celtics, the Heat win 111-101. Eric Spoelstra did it again. The Heat were 14.5-point underdogs for last night's game. They won by double digits. 14.5-point underdogs, win by double digits. They beat a Celtics team in Boston that only lost 4 home games all season. And they made 23 threes. And reading off box scores is not always the most effective way to talk about a game. It's not the most engaging way to talk about a game. But you have to go through the three-point shooting of this Heat team last night because it was Tyler Hero, 6 of 11, Caleb Martin, 5 of 6, Jaime Jaquez, 3 of 6, Nikola Jovic, 3 of 4, Haywood Highsmith, 3 of 5, Duncan Robinson, 2 of 7. Even DeLon Wright made a 3 for the Miami Heat last night. 23 in all. If the game plan was, hey, make all these guys, these regular Joes, beat us by shooting threes, well, mission accomplished, because that's exactly what the Heat did. And we should be absolutely zeroly surprised by it. Zeroly surprised? I don't even think that's a word. But when it comes to the Heat, that's how it goes.
I think you should be surprised.
It feels different because you don't have Jimmy.
Right. They don't have Jimmy. And where would you put Rozier on this Heat team? In terms of 3?
Jimmy Bam was supposed to be.
Jimmy Bam.
I guess Hero could be in there.
So you put him 4th then.
Sure.
So you're down 2 of your top 5 players, 2 of your top 4 players.
But especially playoff Jimmy. That has been the straw that stirs the Heat culture
this
postseason
Celtics
drink.
team. You're this Celtics. And my sports take are always reasonable and void of overreaction. I say that to say this. If they lose this series, something drastic has to be done. Not just from a Boston Celtics franchise standpoint, but from an NBA standpoint. Like, take some banners away from them if they lose this series. Move them for a season. Make them play in Winnipeg for a season if they lose this series. This is awful if they lose this series. It's 1-1. It's a 7-game series. Like, the cream usually rises to the top of these things, right? So this could be a one-off. I don't want to overreact too much. But, if they lose this, it's time. I think you got to blow it up. I definitely think you got to look for a new coach. You got to decide which one do you really want between Brown and Tatum. And, gosh, Kristaps Porzingis, right? Like, they got him as like, this is going to be the one to get us over the hump. And Kristaps Porzingis has not had a very great NBA career.
Kristaps Porzingis last night, who was a minus 32 in 30 minutes of action in a 10-point game.
Felt like he was minus 40. Mm-hmm. It felt like there was nothing that he could do defensively.
Drew Holiday, who had 2 assists. 2. And I'm with you. It's 2 games into the series, although a series does not start until the road team wins.
So they're in the series now.
You officially have a series, an unexpected series in the Eastern Conference. Do I think the Heat will win the series? No. Do I think if the Heat were to win the series, it would be one of the funniest things to ever happen in sports as a non-Boston sports fan? Absolutely. Comedy, like one of the greatest comedies of all time. Put it up there amongst the greats, the Seinfelds, why is my brain blanking on any other comedy that was ever written ever?
Frasier. Cheers.
Friends.
I well, you've been Friends in that.
For me, Veep. Hacks. Modern Family.
30 Rock.
Parks and Rec.
Living Single, Martin. Let's throw some color in there.
Heat with no Jimmy Butler beating these Boston Celtics, who are supposed to be built different.
And we're so good at home. And this is what they...
And so good in the regular season.
This is what they do. This is what they've done here recently, the past 2 years, maybe the past 3 years, where their home record during the regular season is incredible. Incredible. And then come playoffs, they can't get home wins consistently enough. They were routinely in series after 2 games because they dropped either game 1 or game 2. All right, that's odd to me, and I think that's odd to a lot of basketball fans. Where, hey, why are you this dominant in the regular season, especially at home, particularly at home, and then you go into the postseason where you're playing in the same damn home, and the energy should be all the more like larger. It's greater because it's the playoffs. Why are y'all struggling at home in the playoffs to inferior teams, to these Heat? I had no fear about the Celtics playing anybody in the East, except for the Miami Heat.
Now I'm intrigued.
Yeah, absolutely. Coach Spoelstra is coaching circles around these dudes.
It did give me Grizzlies-esque feeling, because there was so much on the timeline last night. Eric Spoelstra, 1 of 1. No one does it like Eric Spoelstra. He is definitively the best coach in the NBA at being able to, especially in the postseason, get guys who you can make the joke of walked off the street and onto a basketball court, win games that they're not supposed to win. And I know that, again, the regular season is much different from the postseason, but we have seen flashes of that here in Memphis. It is precisely what this entire season became, where, yes, the Grizzlies only win 27 games in the season, but they should have won maybe 15. They should have won 10. And instead, you have a random assortment of characters who buy into the quote-unquote, whether it be Heat culture or Grizz culture, or you have a coach who gets guys ready to play. Hey, we need this from you tonight. Can you give it to us? Yes, absolutely, 100%. You go, you get the win. Like the great Jaylen Brown once said, don't let us get one. And Jimmy Butler, always a troll, put it up on Instagram last night. Don't let us get one. Feeling cute, might delete later. Psych, I ain't deleting. S is what Jimmy Butler said in the caption of this picture. Can always appreciate that. The Oklahoma City Thunder won soundly late last night. Yes?
Speaking of bad coaching.
Speaking of.
Like, what the hell are the Pelicans doing? The only advantage you have over them is just pounding the ball inside. Jonas starts that game hot. Jonas starts that game with the first 11 points and looks like he's unstoppable. And they immediately decide, you know what, we're done with this. Brandon Ingram, CJ McCollum, y'all got it. Who's the other one? The one, Herb Jones? Herb, you got it, player. Shoot that rock. Shoot that thing. Forget Jonas down there with a mismatch of all mismatches. And if you're going to play Jonas cannot get out there defensively. So if you're going to play him, you may as well throw him the ball. Otherwise, why is he on the court?
And that's what you got. I mean, he had 11 points in 3 minutes, and then he was completely neutralized. And shout out to Chet Holmgren, because so much of it, especially coming after game one, he's going to lose the size battle. He doesn't have the meat to compete with Jonas Valanciunas. And he was getting all up in every shot attempt he had down on the block, altering shots. And then Chet is just... he's great. He's making threes. He's doing everything else. CJ's pressing the wrong buttons. It's fine. We're at it again. Shai Gilgeous-Alexander turned in a little masterpiece, 13 of 19. The efficiency in a playoff game. Chet stole the microphone in the walk-off interview and said, like, this is your MVP. He's never going to say it, but this is your MVP. I will stand staunchly on the Nikola Jokic hill, but SGA has had an MVP-like season, and it has carried over into the postseason, even though the postseason doesn't factor in to MVP voting. The shot he took from behind the backboard baseline, so nice. The pass he had, we had the nice move inside, broke the kid's ankles, and then still passed up a good shot for a better opportunity. I think there was even another pass. The ball movement of this Thunder team stands out, absolutely, and they're up 2-0. I thought this was going to be a more fun series. Maybe Zion Williamson still can come back. He did address the media yesterday, said he thought absolutely there was a chance he could return in this series. I'll believe it when we see it. But one number one seed took care of their home court in the West, and the other one did not. And that was the story of the NBA playoffs last night. We will go ahead and take a quick break. Maybe we will get the live stream fixed along the way, but Teresa Walker will absolutely join us. When we come back, we'll talk with her about the NFL draft after a quick break. Hey Grizzlies fans, turn your stadium excitement into betting action at Southland Casino Hotel. As a proud sponsor of the Memphis Grizzlies, Southland brings you more gaming action than ever before. Step onto our massive casino floor stretching more than 2.5 football fields. Slot enthusiasts can enjoy more than 2,300 machines from penny slots to high limits and play the hottest games like Aristocrat, Dollar Storm, Cloverlink, and Lightning Cash. Table game aficionados can feel the thrill of the felt with 50 live table games. From 3-card to blackjack match, we're ready to deal you in. Plus, don't miss stadium gaming for an interactive digital experience. And for high rollers, our high limit room is calling your name. Go big on 6 high limit blackjack tables or spin one of our 54 high stakes slot machines. Throw in 8 delicious dining options and a 300-room high-rise hotel, and there's plenty to keep you going. At Southland Casino Hotel, the gaming excitement never stops.
Must be 21 plus. Play responsibly. For help quitting, call 800-522-4700.
Let's face it, there's a lot of trash talk in basketball, but the great teams let their performance do the talking. Like Ford F-150 with Pro Power on board, a class-exclusive industry-first feature that turns your truck into a mobile generator and leaves the competition speechless. Ford F-150, official truck of the Grizzlies. Greatness starts here at your Mid-South Ford dealer. Class is full-size pickups under 8,500 pounds, GBWR.
Sauced by Will Smith is taking the championship taste to FedEx Forum. Come enjoy your favorite lineup of sauces on traditional and boneless wings the next time you see the Memphis Grizzlies play. All of your favorite sauces, including the famous Garrick sauce, are now available as you cheer the home team on. Visit Sauced by Will Smith inside FedEx Forum at your next Grizzlies game, or come visit us anytime at our location in South Haven, Mississippi. Championship sauce, championship taste. Come get sauced today.
Now for a limited time, the new $1.99 Crispy Tender Wraps are here at Sonic. Who could deny a crispy chicken tender with bold flavors like hickory barbecue and cheesy Baja? And we can't forget the crisp lettuce and melty cheese to make the perfect bite. Wrap yourself up with some TLC, tender, love, and chicken for only $1.99. Sonic $1.99 Crispy Tender Wraps. Tax not included. Limited time only at participating Sonic drive-ins.
Are you a healthcare professional looking for a new experience? Look no further than Travel Nurses Inc. Our extensive network of healthcare facilities across the country offers you the opportunity to discover new destinations while pursuing your passion. We provide competitive compensation, flexible contracts, and dedicated assistance. So join our community of nurses and allied health professionals and start your next adventure today. Visit our website at travelnursesinc.com for more information.
I moved, I have a house now, house maintenance.
That's true.
Homeowners Association. That was what your mom wanted to talk to me about. She was so proud that not only are you on the Homeowners Association, that you go to the meetings and know every issue.
We've had speed bump problems.
The Chris Vernon Show, presented by Caesars Sportsbook, live weekdays at noon on YouTube at Grind City Media and the official Grind City Media app.
I've cuddled a time or two in my life.
We are the right.
I've cuddled too.
I've cuddled a time or two in my life.
We're the right just
Yeah, and
size
I think sometimes you're cuddling and you're like, man, I don't know if this fits the right way.
Or I was with someone who had like a baseball injury once, and so like his arm couldn't handle, like he physically couldn't.
He had to say, I would love to cuddle you, but I tore my rotator cuff.
I physically cannot.
What a wild deal.
The Gary Parrish Show, live weekdays at 10 a.m. on YouTube at Grind City Media and the official Grind City Media app.
We are back. Test. We're just a test ground today. Why don't you let Kaylee produce the whole thing? Come on. She's a star.
Produce the show.
I love Bring the Kid to Work Day. I need to bring a kid so then we can just sit back and watch them try to handle all the technical difficulties that we face each and every day. Kaylee is the best. Also the best. Yeah, she is. Okay. Is the microphone up? Huh? Is the microphone up? Then yeah, she's the best. Look how easy the job is. Look how simple it is. Look how easy it is. Also the best is Teresa Walker, who joins us each and every Thursday, even on one of her busiest Thursdays of the year between NHL playoffs and the Preds coming back to Nashville, the NFL draft tonight, what the Titans are going to do. But Teresa Walker joins us this morning because we love her and we always throw hearts. What's up, Teresa?
Throw a heart.
Hi. Well, you mentioned the microphone, and it's like, wait a minute. I bought this fancy microphone, and I'd forgotten to plug it in this morning.
Oh,
so
no.
I was scrambling there. So I am now plugged in. But I will say this. I heartily endorse taking your kid to work day.
Absolutely.
Because I used mine from the time he could carry my bag to a few bowl games, and he worked the 2016 NHL All-Star Weekend with me. He's worked other events for me. He's worked the NCAA tournament for me. Unfortunately, that led him into a life where he went to the University of Tennessee and went into journalism.
Oh, God, it's our worst nightmare.
We went for orientation weekend, and he was set on advertising. And without talking to me, he switched his major. And then it's a 2-day orientation, and the second day he's like, oh, I changed my major. And I'm like, you didn't talk to me first? Come on.
Did you not learn by osmosis? I swear, when my kid, God willing, comes out of the womb someday, that kid's going to start coding. I'm just going to put a little computer in front. You learn to code. You do a job that is numbers. Crunch, 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 not words, please.
Well, he now has an MBA and a job at a Division II school in Nashville, Trevecca Nazarene. So it's a full-time job. So, he got something out of it. But, yeah, he's working more on the technical side, and the electronic media and support side. And it's like, smart. But it's like, the problem is our jobs look too cool. I mean, think about what's going on. I mean, normally I'd be bouncing between Memphis and Nashville. But tonight this morning I've got skate around before Game 3 for an NHL playoff game. And then I'm going to the Titans tonight for the draft where they pick 7th overall. Tomorrow I've got Game 3, Game 4 on Sunday. And this is a rare season where I'm not going between Memphis and Nashville, literally piling the miles up on my car. So, I mean, I work late. I go talk to cool people like you guys. I mean, my job kind of looks pretty cool from the outside. So that's the problem, CJ. You need to keep that young lady away.
The optics make it seem much cooler than it actually
She's
is.
not even my kid. I just found this one on the street. Like,
And
I don't know her like that.
That's called kidnapping. So let's not promote
It's
that.
fine.
But let's not talk about that too loud. Otherwise, they might be knocking down the door.
Right. Right. I like bring your parent to work. Like, I remember one time it was a bring your dad to work day, and he carried all my equipment at a Memphis Tulane football game, and it was raining, and I was like, please carry my equipment. I have things to do, as I'm like normally just like schlepping all my gear by myself. Or my mom will like record things on my phone or press the record button. So for now, that's what I've had to do. Teresa, as you mentioned, busy day. The biggest story in sports, of course, is not that the Celtics lost to the Heat last night, and they are thankful for that. It is that it is the NFL draft. We are finally here. All of the speculation will come to the end. We will have actual picks made by actual teams and trades and whatever else might come up. For the Titans right now, going into tonight, they have the number 7 pick. There has been talk about them potentially being a team that could trade down. Do they keep the pick? What's your pulse on the situation going into this evening?
I think they could do anything. I mean, the problem, though, with trading down is you've got to have a dance partner. You've got to have somebody who wants to get up. So it depends on what happens in those first 6 picks. Is there a quarterback that's suddenly available that a quarterback-hungry team needs to jump ahead of them? And because here's the thing, the Titans, they don't have a 3rd-round pick because they used that to trade up a year ago to number 33 to get Will Levis, their quarterback. It's funny. I did a show in New England yesterday, and it's like, are the Titans wanting a quarterback? And it's like, no, they actually kind of believe in Will Levis for the moment, okay? I mean, hello, just because last season sucked, it wasn't Will Levis's fault, okay? I mean, DeAndre Hopkins caught his first touchdown pass, my God, when Will Levis made his first start. So, and he threw 4 that day. He literally helped lead them to a come-from-behind victory on the road on Monday night in Miami. This is a guy that in Brian Callahan's offense is poised to bloom and blossom, which, yes, they need a left tackle. The situation there turned from a revolving door to a traffic cone last year. They started 4 different guys at left tackle. Andre Dillard, the guy they paid a lot of money, no, that was a bust. He's now somewhere else. And it's like, why Green Bay? Did you think you could sign him? But, everybody thinks. But they've got Bill Callahan, and they keep saying that this is a tackle-rich draft. So I think that it's wide receiver. Brian Callahan, I mean, no offense. They've signed Calvin Ridley. DeAndre Hopkins looked great this last year, 1,000-yard season. And I think that, in Brian Callahan's offense, they could easily do it more. But we still don't know what they've got in Traylon Burks. So, guys, if it's Rome Odunze or if it's, I don't think Marvin Harrison falls to them at 7. But I still think it could be wide receiver because they've got Bill Callahan, Brian Callahan's dad, who is considered one of the top offensive line coach gurus. And if that's the case, combined with a deep offensive line draft, then get yourself another playmaker to give yourself some help on the offensive side of the ball.
I don't know how this could possibly happen because if I had a pick, it would be Marvin 1 and then Caleb Williams would be 2. Those will be my top 2.
Titans pick at 7.
I know they're 7th. I don't know how this would happen. If Marvin Harrison Jr. were to fall to 7, do you say scrap everything? The Titans would take him because he's such a playmaker?
Yes, we're talking best player available combined with a huge need. Because, even though like I said, you got Ridley, and they really are happy to have Calvin Ridley, who's, he's 29, but he's kind of a young 29 because of the suspension and the issues that he's worked through in his career. And then DeAndre Hopkins is on the other side of 30. And while he had a great season, and again, Traylon Burks, if Marvin Harrison is available, don't think about it. Write that name on the card and run, Jimmy, to hand in that card to the commissioner. So I just don't think that he's available at that point. So then I think you're looking at, which of the receivers are available. And yeah, I do think that there's going to be some guys in the building that are like, don't overthink it, Meat. It can only hurt the ball club. Take Joe Alt and fill that spot at left tackle. So, but if there's somebody on the phone saying, hey, Rand, we'll talk. Hey, baby, let's talk. I'd love, let's swap around a little bit. Then yes, because they don't have a third rounder, get some extra draft picks. They had 3 in the 7th round, and they traded one of those for an offensive lineman with Cleveland that, my God, he spent his career in college as a tight end. And it's like, why did they take him? Oh, well, Bill Callahan worked with him in Cleveland last year. So that's why they took him. But you need some higher draft capital if you can possibly get it. So, but again, and people get mad when they should have traded down. Well, you've got to have a partner to dance with at this time of the year.
Who else is trying to trade up other than the Vikings?
The Vikings are the big one.
The Vikings are there. Giants.
Some have said maybe the Bills.
For what?
Receiver. I mean, you notice they don't have any of those anymore.
Exactly. And that's the thing, Teresa. I'm with you 110% on the receiver train, because even with like the news yesterday of Amon-Ra St. Brown signing his massive contract with the Lions, they get paid eventually. If you can get one of those guys on a rookie deal early and take advantage of the financial flexibility that it gives you, that is the best situation you can walk away with coming from the draft. Obviously, best player available, building a team. You can't have skill players without all of the inner workings behind it. But I'm with you on that. What's your feeling on Brock Bowers? Because we talk about the receivers, but from a tight end standpoint, Brock Bowers is a really intriguing pick. Perhaps Neighbors isn't there or Dunze isn't there, but Brock Bowers is. Would you flirt with the Titans taking him?
Oh, absolutely, because right now they only have 3 tight ends on the roster. Brian Callahan made that very clear to us a couple weeks ago when they started their offseason program. One of those is Josh Wiley, who looked really good in training camp, then got hurt and disappeared. Chigaquanquo, who I keep expecting more from, and he did finish the season decently last year, but it's like there's been more promise than production. And one thing we've seen out of Brock Bowers at Georgia is the production. And then you look at the quarterbacks, and it's like he's produced with that. And it's like, he's the guy that I absolutely, I saw him limp off the field at Vanderbilt and saw how much Georgia missed him not being on the field. So it's like, I would absolutely entertain that, because here's the thing. This is not your old run, pass Titans. This is a Brian Callahan offense. And, I'm expecting them to be more offensive and throwing the ball more. And Brian Callahan has said that he wants guys who can get the ball in the end zone. Brock Bowers is one of those guys.
What team intrigues you the most tonight, Teresa? Obviously, the Vikings are getting a lot of the attention because anytime someone has the opportunity to trade up, we're like, ooh, what could that be? But is there one team that stands out to you, particularly, with the top 10 pick, where you're like, oh, that could be a massive difference maker quickly for said team?
Chargers. I mean, with Jim Harbaugh, they're a team that's also wide receiver needy. Yes. But they also need to take and protect their quarterback. So, which way do they go? They're kind of in a similar situation as the Titans. Do they go receiver? Do they go fix their offensive line and help protect Justin Herbert? I mean, they've got the quarterback. But Justin Herbert's been one of those guys, lots and lots of numbers, but not exactly the wins at the time of the year that it matters most. I know. Sorry. Sorry.
We're well aware on this show.
So so that's who I'm waiting to see. And Jim Harbaugh, he's away from the eye of the NCAA. Let's see what he does. I do think it's interesting that he got that tattoo to commemorate his championship season, and now he's the coach of the Chargers. So it's like, dude, you're walking in the door with some very high expectations.
It was a little small on the 15-0 side. We discussed said tattoo last week. If you're gonna get an arm,
he kind of hit it, didn't he?
Yeah, he tried. It was like,
and he put it up high so he can cover it. Yeah,
with the sleeve. Smart man.
That's where my tattoos are. He's a professional. People want him to have neck tats.
That's a way of the past.
What are you talking about?
We're hiring teachers with tats, doctors with tats.
Okay, are we hiring coaches with tats? Name your favorite tattooed head coach.
Jerry Kill.
Okay, all right. Exactly. Vanderbilt's own. I would say
not even their head coach.
Right. The Bears are interesting at 9 also.
Yeah, I'm very interested in what they do.
I forgot that they had the first and the 9th overall pick.
Well, and that's where, with all the news that Caleb Williams tweeted that he was flying and ran into Rome Odunze on his flight, and then it was like, well, actually, they've been throwing together, and there's video of them walking on a field together, and you can read all the tea leaves. I don't think Rome Odunze is going to be there at 9 for the Chicago Bears to take.
Well, that's the thing.
If the Titans are there at 7 and he's there, I mean, come on.
Well, that's the thing. And players, I'm sorry. One, you haven't been taken by the Bears yet. And two, you don't control the draft room. You're going to be in Detroit tonight. You're not going to be in the draft war room for the Bears. And the Bears have to hit on both of these picks, okay? Because they unveiled, you thought that $2 billion stadium the Titans had started construction on was something. That $5 billion plan that they've got. Now, it's not just the stadium, and as somebody who went to all those museums up there, I love the idea of what they're wanting to do with that projection of, a kind of a campus to better connect all those museums, which is a smart plan, because I have taken my life in my hands trying to get from one place to the next, from the Field Museum over to the Shedd Aquarium. And it's like, and I've seen a lot of construction in my life up there. This could be the thing that knits that area together. But, the governor right now is not exactly excited. So if you hit on 1 and 9 and you can start winning some games, you can build a lot of enthusiasm for your stadium plan in a hurry, which why the Titans need to hit so well with their pick, because they've got a new coach, a second-year GM. And it was funny how Rand talked on Tuesday, and he says, I'm treating this like my first draft. And people are like, ooh, he hated Matt Grable. I told you there was some. Guys, calm down. He's got a first-year head coach. Of course he's treating this like his first draft. I mean, some people try to read too many tea leaves.
Some people, Teresa. You mentioned the Bears Stadium, which, as they said, will result in no new taxes on residents of Chicago, which just means your old taxes will be going to that. They also had a pastor there asking for the blessings of God on this stadium. And I thought that was intriguing because, please, God, also send billions of dollars my way and the way of all of us who would love to be blessed with some financial flexibility in ways we've never imagined once before. They do need it. Because you brought up the Bears, I do want to ask you, Caleb Williams has become a very polarizing figure at the number 1 pick. And yes, all the assumption is that the Bears are going to take Caleb Williams with that top pick, but some of the conversations around Caleb Williams have been bizarre. We talked at the top of the show of one anonymous GM who said it's like drafting the Prince, and Prince as in the artist, and it goes with the flair and the nail painting, and he did a photo shoot for GQ and the fashion side of it. What's your take on Caleb Williams, and what is your thoughts on him as a player and just as an overall future person in the NFL who you'll be covering?
Well, as somebody, he's got better nail game than I ever will. And no problem with that, because, part of that, what he's doing on the nails, the competitiveness is there. Okay. The athletic ability. I mean, some of these older GMs have a hard time getting with the fact that there are, let's face it, talk about millennials and Gen X, Z, you name it. These kids have grown up differently, and he's got some flair and style to him. And I'm sorry, if I've got a quarterback that's being compared to Prince,
I'm good with that.
I'm good with that, because creative, one of the best ever to do it. Okay, that's a good comp for me.
Yeah. I am obviously close to the situation as a USC football fan, and even though this season was far from what anybody wanted, what I've seen from Caleb Williams in his abilities as a quarterback were impressive as hell. And I'm not going to say that I am shocked at the lack of hype around the Bears having this opportunity to take him with the number 1 pick, because we do this with sports conversations all the time, and it is such value. I mean, the future of your franchise rests upon this pick at quarterback, and will he be the guy who leads you to happier times moving forward? But from his innovation, from the way that he is able to make plays out of seemingly nothing, the magician factor that we seem to value so much from a Patrick Mahomes or a Lamar Jackson, like Caleb Williams showed that time and time again at USC, and I am excited to see him move forward. I am always nervous about the Chicago Bears as an organization and what that means, and there has to be equal parts responsibility put on the quarterback and on the organization in its totality. But the pieces are certainly around him where he should have the chances.
Yeah, he's not walking into a typical
fire
situation, right? Like most of the time, the number one overall pick is walking into a dumpster fire. There's talent around him. There is a good enough offensive line in front of him. I think it makes all the sense in the world to take the best quarterback prospect in this draft, and the best quarterback prospect in this draft is Caleb Williams. Yeah. We do this, though, and it annoys me, and maybe this is why one of the reasons the draft turns me off, why I really don't pay. Like, I'll go through after it's all said and done and see who went where. But the way we talk about these dudes, like it is, if Caleb Williams wasn't painting his nails, it would be an anonymous GM. I just don't know how smart he is. Right? Like that's just the way it goes. If you're black, you're not smart. If you're white, you're not athletic. If you paint your nails, you're too soft, too effeminate to be a quarterback. Like too much of a system.
Too much of a running quarterback. There's no perfect sweet spot.
We start doing these prospect conversations the second one of these guys flashes on screen. And if you're any good, you flash around your sophomore, junior year. And if you stay, that's 3 years of this. We run out of quality things to say about these people, and we just start throwing things at the wall. Lamar Jackson's not smart enough to be a quarterback. Bill Polian is saying that. He's got to go to a different position. And all Lamar Jackson has done, 2-time MVP, right? Like, come on, man. The conversation around him, I get why some would be frustrated about the conversation around him, but that's just the dumb things we do as a sports viewing public. We make up issues with these guys that aren't really there to try and have something to fill the void between February when college football season ends and now when the NFL draft is.
And don't forget, it's line season, okay? I mean, sometimes GMs anonymously speak things because they're trying to get somebody to fall to them, and they're trying to, manipulate the draft as much as they can to try to get their guy. I will say this: Chicago, I grew up there as a kid. It's a tough, the windy city, the city of big shoulders, you name it, blue collar town. But I tell you, if Caleb Williams starts winning games, they will be, fans will be painting their nails. Yes,
it feels so unfair, though, Teresa, that the abilities of society to perhaps shift in a positive direction towards being just cooler about all of this. And we don't have to make this anything more than it is, because I don't know Caleb Williams' personal life, and that's on him. But just from a standpoint of from the player at Duke, painting their nails, being more out there, and just like being yourself and not really giving a damn what anybody else thinks. It all rests on Caleb Williams, and that feels like a heavy weight to bear.
Black people have been carrying that burden for decades now. Like, this is just what we do.
Yes, let's not forget that. Why did Warren Moon go to the CFL? Because the NFL wanted him to switch positions. Steve McNair was the number 3 pick overall, and there were some people who wanted him to switch positions. A guy named Air McNair, for God's sake, ended up being an NFL MVP. So, yes, there are – and guess what? There are people who way overthink this, because in front offices, they've been looking at these prospects for months. And, yes, you overthink it. And sometimes, again, don't think me. It can only hurt the club.
It can only hurt the club.
We do this with the people in those offices where they overthink.
Yes.
Yes.
And it makes them seem smarter than I think they are. I think they're just stupid.
Overthinking is dumb.
I don't think they're smart enough to overthink it. If you watch Caleb Williams and you say to yourself, don't know about this kid, I don't know what you're looking at this point.
He cried to his mom after a loss. Oh, how dare he!
Well, part of it is that you're investing so much into this. Remember, the Bears had Justin Fields, and we thought he was their next quarterback of the future. I was up there for a Cubs game when it was Jay Cutler they had acquired, and he was their future. And the number 6s were selling everywhere, baby. But that's the thing; they have to nitpick, because there's such an investment and jobs are on the line. That's why they do this.
That's why they do it. Real quick before we let you go, Teresa, like you said, open skate tonight for the Preds. That series tied up at 1-1. What do we need to know about this series as it goes into Game 3?
Well, the Predators now have a really serious chance that I think they should win this series, because the Canucks, their goalie is now week to week after being day to day the other day. I don't think he's back this series, and they're in the Bridgestone tomorrow night. I think that the Predators are going to have a really good chance to advance to the next round. In a year, I thought just making the playoffs would be the high point for them. Now, you take it and get what you can run with.
So what I'm hearing you say is, Teresa, I made a good investment on the Predators.
I think so.
We like making money. Teresa, we love you, as always. Thanks for joining us. Stay sane tonight. Throw the hearts up. Hearts with consent are always done in this direction with you. We'll see you next week, Teresa. That was Teresa Walker of the Associated Press. Be sure to follow her on social all night. Teresa M. Walker on Twitter. She will keep you updated on everything that goes down with the Tennessee Titans in tonight's draft. It appears our stream is back. It's operating. Your Wi-Fi is not broken. It's us. We apologize for all of that on our behalfs. CJ apologizes. I apologize. Other Jacob apologizes. Yeah, well, I apologize for all of us. And shout out to the real ones who are still with us because it's a draft day of our own coming up next. We will be drafting the best uniforms of all time. We will absolutely piss a lot of people off because we did not do it by sport. We did not do it by era. It's just all of them. Any uniform that has ever been worn in sports is up for grabs. We'll draft them when we come back.
Take your fandom to the next level with the official Grizzlies app. Go all access and behind the scenes.
It's got to be heavy defense. That's where it starts for us.
Personalized to where you are and who you are. Get easy access to ticketing, the game day guide, and your own app customization right at your fingertips. Upgrade your experience and download the Grizzlies app today.
Let's face it, there's a lot of trash talk in basketball, but the great teams let their performance do the talking. Like Ford F-150 with Pro Power on board, a class-exclusive industry-first feature that turns your truck into a mobile generator and leaves the competition speechless. Ford F-150, official truck of the Grizzlies. Greatness starts here at your Mid-South Ford dealer. Class is full-size pickups under 8,500 pounds, GVWR.
Grizzlies fans know it's the team that gives you the edge. Big River Steel does too. That's why we're looking for team members to help us reshape the steel industry for a more sustainable tomorrow. Our edge starts with you at www.bigriversteel.com/join to join our dash team. That's www.bigriversteel.com/join to join our dash team.
LifeCare Ambulance is proud to be an official partner of the Memphis Grizzlies and FedEx Forum. At LifeCare, they wear their hearts with pride. Their passion is their people. They want you to love what you do and where you do it. Their employee-driven culture encourages a healthy work-life balance and supportive work environment. They invest in your success and well-being so that you can provide the best care for the patients that they serve. Join the incredible team of EMTs and paramedics in Memphis, Nashville, and across the nation today. Learn more at lifecareamb.com.
It's more fun to be there live to see the Memphis Grizzlies hit the court all season long. From the electricity in FedEx Forum to the highlight reel plays, there's nothing quite like Grizzlies basketball. As the official marketplace of the Memphis Grizzlies, Ticketmaster gets you in with a huge selection of seats. So get off the couch and into the stands while you still can. Score tickets today at Ticketmaster.com. That's Ticketmaster.com.
Lindsey Harding has gotten a chance to interview for the Charlotte Hornets vacancy.
She's proven that she could coach on the men's side. She's done a fantastic job and got this G League opportunity and was Coach of the Year. This is fantastic for women's basketball.
Hey, Grizzlies fans, be sure to tune in to Grizby, where the panel and I break down all things Grizzlies and take a look at the rest of the NBA as well. The show is live every Wednesday, 2 p.m. on YouTube at Grind City Media and the official Grind City Media app.
Test. Glitch flitch. I think we're back. We are back on a Thursday. Thanks to Teresa Walker for joining us on a very busy NFL draft day. It is time for a draft day of our own. And we'll know how bad our picks are based on how quickly the internet freezes on each of them. So that'll be a good real-time draft analysis by the people, for the people.
It's already frozen. Jacob, do we got a coin or some ducks swimming or what? We got something.
Duck swimming? Oh, a spinning wheel of death.
Here we go. Just give it to Jessica. She always gets it.
That's a total lie. You got square pizza in the last
I did get square pizza.
And you're about to get the first.
There we go.
And you're going to get the first pick in this one.
There we go.
All right, let me set it up for Luke. Today we are drafting. Today, take three, actually. Today we are drafting the greatest sports uniforms of all time. Any era, any sport, just the best uniforms straight up. You can take them from anywhere. Let's go.
I think part of our issue is we keep saying best and greatest when it's really just our personal favorites.
My personal opinion. Well, yeah, what we try is the best and the greatest. This one I already know. This one is just going to absolutely leave people angry.
Give me first pick. I know I can get the one that I really want last, so I'm not going to rush to pick it. I will take the creamsicle uniforms from the Tampa Bay Buccaneers.
Ooh.
I love those uniforms. It's something about the buck with the knife in his mouth, with the hair flowing. Like he looks like Captain Morgan's cousin, the dude on the helmet. Right? And then the orange with the white pants. Oh, that's a phenomenal look right there. I love that. And I'm not a big fan of orange uniforms. I'm not. But that creamsicle, oh, it's superb. Like, look at that. That's just beautiful right there.
It makes me want some orange sherbet real bad.
Immediately. I see that uniform and I think to myself, give me the orange sherbet. It's great.
Give me the little ice cream with the wooden spoon. Yeah. That's right there. Creamsicle, that's a good one.
Yeah.
I think we both like bright colors, which might affect this draft sincerely. There was only one clear option for me with my number one pick, and that is the purple dino jerseys from the Toronto Raptors.
Oh, that's a good one.
This is the greatest uniform to ever exist because there is an effing dinosaur on it. It is a raptor with a Raptors jersey of its own, playing basketball with its tiny Raptors arms. And it's an homage to Jurassic Park and to the Land Before Time and to all the dinosaurs who came before. And it's purple for the aways. The home whites were really nice too, but I love the bright purple and the red. Two colors that absolutely should not go together, but do in the arena of sports. The Raptors font is perfect with the extended length on the T that goes over the rest of the word. They wore them in the late 90s. They've brought them back in throwbacks because they are perfection, from Vince Carter, Tracy McGrady, Damon Stoudemire. They're all wearing dinosaur uniforms, and as an adult, I want to wear a dinosaur uniform. Raptor forever.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. Get me excited just thinking about it.
The pinstripe era of NBA uniforms is really, really good. Really, really good. I sent a couple of those in. I'm not sure if I will take them. We're frozen. We'll keep rolling, though.
Fantastic.
Give me the Nuggets uniforms, the throwback classic Nugget uniforms. With the mountain, the bright colors. Again, love the bright colors. Mm-hmm. It's got the rainbow thing feel to it as well. And then it's got the mountains with the city skyline on it. And look at that boy, them day Dukes on. See all of the print right there. Real mammal toe. I love it. Moose knuckle right there. Give it to me. I love that uniform.
I love that you took that with the number 2 pick because I think those are criminally underrated in the test of time. I love those uniforms.
The Nuggets have, and I don't want to tip my hand too much here, the Nuggets have 2 really, really good uniforms. It's those, and there's another one that I might take.
Okay. With my number 2 pick, I will go to the NFL. And with classic NFL vibes, you might think Raiders, Packers, Steelers, Cowboys. But no, my brain goes elsewhere. It goes straight to the Miami Dolphins with the little dolphin wearing a football helmet. Bring back the Dolphins throwbacks as their full-time uniforms now, because nothing beats a leaping dolphin with a football helmet on. And the whimsical idea of a dolphin playing football is just a beautiful thing.
You like bright colors and animals on
uniforms.
uniforms.
Sure do, and it's a theme. Give me the teal and the orange, although I do like the dolphin whites with the accents of the teal and the orange. Sometimes the teal and the orange can feel a little overwhelming. I was talking to Chris about this morning. There was a girl in my class growing up who was a massive Dolphins fan in elementary school, and everything she wore was like bright teal. And did you have a Dolphins fan in your class? Because Chris had a Dolphins fan in his class.
No.
That made no sense. We're not from Florida, nowhere near Glamour City, Miami. Dan Marino. Yeah. And then you had... Jason Taylor, too, was like...
Oh, Jason Taylor did it. Oh, well, he was handsome.
And he was handsome.
He was handsome.
He was one of those, like, first crushes for a lot of us girlies watching football growing up. So, shout out Don Shula forever. A dolphin wearing a football helmet. Who says no? Bring him back, you cowards.
Give me number 3. I'm going to go international. Give me the Brazil kit. Give me the highlight yellow with the blue shorts. And it is cool looking one. Like, that's beautiful looking right there. One, with the highlight yellow, with the green trim, with the blue shorts. Again, none of these seems like they should go together, but it works. It works, and then when they step on the pitch, I know some cool stuff is going to happen, be it the men or the women, right? Like, cool stuff is going to happen on that pitch with Brazil. I love that uniform. That's my favorite international uniform. Give that to me.
Solid pick. Unexpected. With my number 3 pick.
I'm a fan of bright colors, right? Like, all of these have been bright for me so far.
As we've established, I love bright colors. I love animals. So with my number 3 pick, give me the Oregon Ducks Mighty Oregon uniform from 1984 with Donald Duck himself leaping through the Oregon O. Walt Disney and Oregon struck a deal where Oregon originally was able to use Donald Duck. That was theirs for the use. I think the deal ended in 2010, but they still are able to use these as throwbacks. This is pre-Nike Oregon, and I am the kind of person who loves the Nike jerseys with Oregon, but they used this with Marcus Mariota's season. They brought these things back. It's just Donald Duck swimming through an O. And it's perfection. And I wish that we had more opportunities to use classic cartoon characters in jerseys today, but I feel like the copyright issue is probably far too difficult. Didn't Winnie the Pooh just go into the public domain?
You want one of these bear teams to have Winnie the Pooh on it?
How great would that be?
It would be interesting.
I love these.
The Chicago Bears with Winnie the Pooh on the helmet, just fat, shirt, no pants, eating honey.
Honestly, feels brand appropriate. Who needs Ditko when you can just have...
Whoa. Whoa.
Just a shame we're frozen.
Whoa. I think we're back also.
No, we're definitely frozen at this moment. Yeah.
Oh, we're still frozen?
Yeah.
That's good. All right. Let me get... Oh, gosh. Let's stick with the bright theme.
Okay.
Let me get those Miami jerseys from the 2000s.
Oh,
those I guess they were green. I really don't know what color to call this, but it was so bright, so vibrant, and it popped on screen. I love those Miami uniforms, and that was the last time Miami was, like, relevant nationally. You got the orange trim as well. I think everybody could put that uniform on and look good in it. You could put it on and look good. I could put it on and look good. And not just look good, look athletic. Look like, oh, that is an imposing person right there. It doesn't matter if you're Ken Dorsey or Jeremy Shockey or if you're Johnson or what's my man's name? The safety. Why am I blanking on safety? One who passed.
Oh.
Commander safety. Yeah, you could be Ed Reed. Now I'm just thinking about all the Miami greats. Ed Reed was on that team. Sean Taylor.
Sean Taylor.
That's who it is.
I
Sean
kept wanting
Taylor.
to say Jason Taylor. I was like, no, we just talked about
Yeah, so you could be anybody and look good in that. Look good and athletic, and I like that uniform. Give it to me.
It's a good one. It's a good one. We've been fully bright colored in this draft thus far, so I'm going to swerve with my number 4 pick and give me the New York Yankees. Do you picture baseball? You picture the New York Yankees uniforms that have basically been the same for 80 plus years. They are timeless. They are classic. Even if you hate the Yankees, I think you can respect that these uniforms are baseball.
I hate these uniforms.
That's fine.
It's boring. And I tried to stay away from the boring uniforms.
This is the only boring uniform that I went
there's
with.
Nothing,
and I just wanted an excuse to show Derek Jeter, let's be honest.
Look at him. Speaking of Moose
We're back
Knuckle.
on air just in time for everybody to see Derek Jeter in the classic pinstripes.
Boring. Notre Dame's uniforms, boring. People talk about them as, they're classics, they're throwbacks.
They're not throwbacks.
You're right. They're classics.
Timeless.
They're timeless, excuse me. They're just boring to me.
Wow.
I don't find them that nice looking, but if that's your thing, you got it. You got it. I will go. Gosh, there's a lot of good ones left. But I will go with the University of Michigan. The winged helmet, people. It matters. National champion, University of Michigan. Yes, give me the winged helmet. Give me that deep blue. Give me the maize pants. Oh, I get tingles just thinking about the uniforms. I love them so much. And did you know that Michigan was the first program to put decorations on their helmets? Because everybody had the same ugly-ass brown helmets, Michigan quarterbacks couldn't decipher which person was on their team when they were running down the field. So they decided, hey, we'll put a little wing on our helmet to signify that these are on our team, and you'll be able to throw them the ball. And that's how we got the winged helmet, the greatest helmet decoration of any college or professional football program. Give me Michigan.
You've put me in a pickle. Because I was going to try to stay clear of my allegiances, even though I do think that USC has some of the most beautiful football uniforms.
Again, it's boring. It's boring.
Cardinal and gold is not boring because it's a mix of colors that would normally not go together.
Cardinal and gold always go together.
No, they don't. Why?
Why? Because they just do. Tuskegee is that color.
Because of USC.
It's not. Okay, here we go. Here we go.
I'm not taking them.
Okay, you shouldn't because it's not the uniform.
Them. I'm standing strong.
What's the Trojan? Is it just a regular ass Trojan on the side of the helmet? What's on the side of the helmet?
They have different ones. It's the
it's
Trojan
just the Trojan looks Spartanish.
It's like a helmet on a helmet.
Yeah, no.
It's Inception. It's Helmetception.
Also,
I just wanted an excuse to show Reggie Bush. He just got his Heisman back. Come on.
Also, the Trojans lost the war that they were in, so there's a thing called the Trojan horse.
You want to know what never loses?
What?
Magic. With the 5th pick, give me the Magic Stars jerseys, where the A is a star and the dot of the I is a star.
The joints from the 90s?
Right there, baby.
Oh, pinstripe. Again, the pinstripe. The pinstripe NBA uniform is good.
These are my favorites. I would wear this despite not being a Magic fan. That's how I feel about the Raptors jersey. That's how I feel about the Magic jerseys. I was going between these Magic pinstripes and the Showtime Lakers classic, bringing purple and gold into our stratosphere forever. I can't do it with the Lakers because the Lakers feel too much of, I'm sure it's how some people feel with the Yankees. I don't want to wear a Yankees jersey because it feels annoying, even though it's a clean jersey. That's how I feel with the Lakers. But the Magic are still successful adjacent enough that you can go back to those throwbacks and just wear them as a cool Dutch jersey.
Before we run, let's run through them. We're down, but we still got to do it for social. I'm assuming social will be able to clip this.
I hope so.
Be a damn shame if we did all this work and social's not able to clip it. My picks: number 1, I took the Buccaneers creamsicle. Number 2, I took the Nuggets rainbow throwback uniforms. 3, I took the Brazilian national soccer team uniforms. 2000s Miami Hurricanes uniforms were my 4th pick. And then number 5, old faithful, old reliable, that winged helmet, University of Michigan.
Beautiful. My picks are Raptors purple uniforms with dinosaurs. Dolphins throwbacks where the Dolphin is wearing the little tiny football helmet himself. The Mighty Oregon uniforms using Donald Duck leaping through the O. The New York Yankees classic pinstripes. And the 90s Orlando Magic pinstripe with the star action, completing a great draft if only the people could see it.
Red Wings were on mine. The white Red Wing jerseys were on mine.
Okay. The North Carolina Tar Heel blue, nice. Everyone, you said, everyone looks good. Powder blue, everyone looks good in powder blue.
The Expos uniform, the powder blue
Marquette
Expos
had
uniform.
some nice powder blue throwbacks at one point. The clean white San Francisco 49ers throwbacks are really nice. The Raiders, I think, are a classic. But can I show the one that I really wanted to take that Chris told me I absolutely was not allowed to take with a serious pick in this draft, because we, as you know, treat these drafts very seriously despite people thinking otherwise. I really wanted to take the North Carolina State unitards. You might forget because they were only worn for 2 games, but in 1987, NC State wore unitard jerseys because Jimmy Valvano asked Nike to design a uniform where it would not come untucked. They were having trouble keeping their jerseys tucked, and the players hated them so much that they then wore shorts on top of the unitards. And this was the deep diving uniform lore that I found upon my research for this draft.
Took it.
They're so good.
You should have took it.
So good.
We could have been balling in unitards.
No one has ever dared try it since. They actually use it as women. There's a couple of women's leagues internationally that use unitards because, of course, you're making women be in unitards. But I imagine they're pretty comfortable. I love a good unitard.
How do you go to the bathroom?
I'm in a unitard right now.
How do you go to the bathroom?
You have to unsnap.
It didn't look like those had snaps.
They used to not have the snaps. So then back in the day, you had to like just adjust. Like you pull it over. Like either you could take it all the way off, but if you were lazy like me, you would just pull it and really hope that no drippage happened along the way.
That
Pretty
seems
gnarly.
dangerous.
It is.
That seems dangerous.
Absolutely.
Hey, tell the people what your jersey was. Stand up.
Oh my God.
Oh my gosh, she has to do work. Get in the camera shot.
Can you stop? Okay. Mine was
Can you stop me to CJ every day?
Mine was the Boston Bruins black hockey.
Ooh.
The black
yeah.
Bruins. What you like about it?
I don't know, just plain, but it's kind of cute. I mean,
Can
you stop? Oh my gosh.
It was plain, but it's kind of cute. I like these. I think of classic hockey. These come to mind when I think of classic hockey uniforms, and we are a capital H hockey show, so we better represent.
Okay.
Just like we're a baseball. How many periods of playoff hockey have you watched?
None.
None?
None.
Watch 2.
Okay.
Go Avs.
Go Avs. Go Avs. I guess. Go Preds. I got money on the Preds.
Go Preds.
Go
Team
Preds.
Tennessee. And we're back, everybody. Welcome back to our show. We're going to take a
It was quite
quick break.
possibly the greatest draft that you've never seen.
You missed me talking about unitards. Look them up. NC State, 1987. They wore some unitards, but it's a beautiful thing when the draft comes to an end and we can reflect on such beautiful picks. We'll take a quick break. Maybe we'll be back. I'm not going to make any promises that I can't keep. But we have Theater Thursday. I started a docuseries that is movie adjacent last night. I'll tell you what it is. We had some other movie news that CJ and I will get into after a quick little break.
Grizzlies fans know it's the team that gives you the edge. Big River Steel does too. That's why we're looking for team members to help us reshape the steel industry for a more sustainable tomorrow. Our edge starts with you at www.bigriversteel.com/join to join our dash team. That's www.bigriversteel.com/join to join our dash team.
There's no substitute for experience, the knowledge gained from having been there before, and the passion to share what you know to make everyone around you better. It's true in basketball. It's true in banking. Grizzlies Checking from Pinnacle. Play hard. Bank easy. Open a Grizzlies checking account with at least $100 and a recurring direct deposit by April 30th. And you could receive a $200 direct deposit bonus into your account. Details at grizzliesbanking.com. Member FDIC.
Now for a limited time, the new $1.99 crispy tender wraps are here at Sonic. Who could deny a crispy chicken tender with bold flavors like hickory barbecue and cheesy Baja? And we can't forget the crisp lettuce and melty cheese to make the perfect bite. Wrap yourself up with some TLC, tender, love, and chicken for only $1.99. Sonic $1.99 crispy tender wraps. Tax not included, limited time only at participating Sonic drive-ins.
Lindsey Harding has gotten a chance to interview for the Charlotte Hornets vacancy.
She's proven that she could coach on the men's side. She's done a fantastic job and got this G League opportunity and was coach of the year. This is fantastic for women's basketball.
Hey, Grizzlies fans, be sure to tune in to Grizby, where the panel and I break down all things Grizzlies and take a look at the rest of the NBA as well. The show is live every Wednesday, 2 p.m. on YouTube at Grind City Media and the official Grind City Media app.
Let's talk about MVPs.
Let's do it. I went with the Joker.
Oh my God, Nikola freaking Jokic.
Every time I watch him play, I'm so impressed.
I'm obsessed with him.
Yeah.
Everything he does works. He can pass, he can shoot, he can rebound, he can drive, he can defend. Like, he can do everything.
He can lead the fast break, and he's like 7-1.
IMHO with Lang Whitaker and me, Kelsey Wright Johnson, on YouTube at Grind City Media and the official Grind City Media app.
Welcome back. Thank you, everyone, for continuing to ride with us on this bumpy journey on a Thursday, on an NFL draft day. We did mean to give a shout out, or I meant to give a shout out. I do love the throwback Grizzlies teal Vancouvers, the bear with the and the teal and black. Those are excellent. So shout out to
like
those
that.
always.
I thought you were going to take it because it's bright and it's got the animal on it.
I love the dinosaur more.
I like the Grizzly.
I
like the grizzly bear.
I am obsessed with dinosaurs.
Okay.
There's a dinosaur exhibit at one of the what's the museum that's on the street that leads towards the University of
Museum
Memphis?
of Memphis used to be Pink Palace.
I think so.
Yeah, that's it.
There's a dinosaur exhibit right now, and I want to go.
Yeah.
It looks great.
They had a dinosaur expo out at Ag Center. You could have went.
I think
for
in a
the
past
low
life,
price of $40. You think in a past life you were what?
A dinosaur.
Which one?
A velociraptor.
What makes you think that?
Because I'm good at velociraptor impersonation.
I can't recall that.
Yes, you can.
I can't.
Honestly, my biggest dream come true is that you just so kindly bait me, and not even bait me, you just nudge me into
encourage
doing
you
my velociraptor impression
every day.
all the time. Every day.
That's how you should start the show. You should stomp in here like a velociraptor, which were like the size of chickens, apparently. They weren't big.
Yeah, no, they're small.
Yeah, they weren't big.
Tiny but deadly.
They're not
Like
deadly.
me. They're so cute, and then they kill you.
Are you deadly? Yeah. All right.
Just look at me in this denim jacket and Skims unitard. All right, let's do some Theater Thursday. Before we get into actual movies, there was cinematic things happening across the sports world. I saw this clip this morning, and I thought to myself, this is cinema. The world's longest ski jump was completed yesterday. This is incredible. Japan's Ryoyu Kobayashi broke the world record for the longest ski jump with 291 meters. The way he floats through the air is just so beautiful. And there he goes down. I just saw this. This was on SportsCenter Top 10 this morning. And this angle from this side, Red Bull did the video because Red Bull always does the most incredible visuals of these world records and extreme sports. Stunning. It happened in Iceland, and I would like to go back to Iceland to watch live the next attempt at the longest ski jump. But
how far can
imagine,
you jump?
Like 2 feet.
Oh, really?
How long can you jump?
None?
What's your long jump?
None? What do you mean long
I feel
jump?
like I would get up and do a long jump, but I'm too worried I would tear something.
God, yeah, please don't. Although you get workers' comp this time, you didn't sign a waiver.
No waivers, and I'm here.
No, I can't. I tried the long jump thing without the skis in high school. They made me do track.
Same. I was so bad.
Can't jump. You know, I'm not athletic.
It's one of my worst athletic feats. Is the long. Like in my head, I'm like that skier with serious hang time, and in reality, it's like
kerplunk. Yep.
Jinx 23 not dead. You had a cinematic moment of sports of
How
your
the
own.
hell do you lose a hockey match 57-1? But that's what Kuwait did. Thailand, international hockey, under 18s. Thailand beat Kuwait. Thailand. This isn't Russia. This isn't one of those Slavic countries. This isn't Norway or Sweden or Canada. This isn't one of those cold weather countries that's just great at hockey. This is Thailand. They beat Kuwait 57-1. The goal differential, the shots on goal, 122-1.
You gotta always try.
122 shots on goal? That's amazing. How do you do that?
Do we think Kuwait was betting against themselves?
No, because you wouldn't make it that obvious.
Yeah.
That's a little too obvious, isn't it?
I think someone else thought that, this won't be that obvious. And then it was like, how about the baseball, the Alabama baseball situation? What's not obvious? Sometimes
but
we don't think these things
they didn't
through.
lose by 50.
Well, maybe they went so far, they thought surely you would have the same reaction. No one would ever take something that poorly.
A loss 10-1, right? You're going to throw it. You could lose 10-1 and it's not news.
Go big or go home.
You could lose 5-1. You could lose 20-0. It's not that big of a news. 57 points in hockey? In hockey? Their football game team totals don't get 57. We'll watch. You'll find out. USC versus Iowa, the total will be 40, and they'll end up declining for 30. Right? Like that's 57-1 in hockey? That's insane. You and I could have gone out there with Kaylee and skated and not lost 57-1.
When's the last time you were on skates?
Birthday party, January.
Roller skates or ice skates?
Never been on ice skates.
You've never been on ice skates?
Never been on ice skates.
I smell a segment next winter.
Where we go on ice skates?
Yes.
Okay.
That'd be fun.
I'm not signing a waiver.
I mean, it's not fun. You're going to be on your butt.
Why would I? I'm an athlete.
You're
I got
ride
balance.
The pole?
I love riding poles.
You ride the pole around.
Yeah, I'm going to ride the pole. You're damn right.
All right. What are you watching right now?
I watched a couple of stand-ups. One stands out. It's a stand-up on HBO Max, and it centers around a Jewish guy who decides that he's going to show up to this white supremacist meeting and the things that end up popping off there. Jacob, throw it up because I've forgotten the name of it.
That sounds like some old W. Kamau Bell. What was that show on CNN?
I know what you're talking about.
You remember that?
Something Things or something like that. Just for Us, Alex Edelman on HBO Max. It's an interesting look at the Jewish experience because Alex is Jewish.
He's Orthodox.
Like super Jewish.
Orthodox.
That'll work as well.
Well, there's different. There's Orthodox and traditional, and then also Jewish.
Okay. Well, he'll tell you his name. I can't pronounce it because it's spelled with a whole lot of phlegm in there, right? And so he talks about that and how growing up like that, what that was like for him, and then the decisions that lead to him going to this place where everybody hates him. And nobody knows for certain that he is a Jewish person until it's, for lack of a better phrase, until it's too late, right? And he's already sitting there in the meeting with the people, and it's funny. I don't know if it's thought provoking necessarily. I don't want to put that on it, but it does say, oh, this is an interesting perspective of what one of these meetings is like. He talks about it from the standpoint of, oh, I feel bad for these people. And like I don't wish them any ill will because, I don't think they know any better. And they're just frustrated, they're angry, and they don't feel like they're being heard. I think it's a pretty good stand-up. I enjoyed watching it. So yeah, that's what I'm watching movie-wise on the TV. You should watch it. I think you'll enjoy it.
I will. I think that's really interesting. Xavier said it in the chat, United Shades of America.
There we go.
Which was the W. Kamau Bell show where I remember he went to a Klan meeting. He's a black man, and he went to a Klan meeting, and he went to like a neo-Nazi meeting.
Yeah, and that's
putting yourself in interesting,
dangerous.
You're
around people who actively want your demise.
Dead.
Yes.
Not just like hate you.
Yeah.
Like don't believe in your existence.
No. And it's one of the differences between one of the many differences between the two minority groups, right? The black and the Jewish population. Black population, Jewish population. The Jewish people can like walk into a room and it not be evident that, hey, this person is Jewish, 100% Jewish, right? Like I can't walk into one of those spaces without them saying, oh, no. You're very clearly black. You got to go. You don't get any muffins. He talked about walking in and getting a couple of muffins because they had muffins on the table. He walks in and he grabs himself some muffins and they're welcoming to him and they're nice to him and they're talking, and then boom, the switch flips and they're all complaining about Jewish people. And that's something that black people can't do. We walk into a room and you know immediately, hey, this person is black. You suspect that Alex is Jewish, but you don't know for certain that Alex is Jewish when he walks into the room.
Because based on what I'm seeing here, even though he was raised Orthodox Jew, he's not Orthodox now. Because if he was Orthodox, then he would have
a yarmulke on.
Not a yarmulke.
And the twist.
It's the twist
Yep.
and the hat. And sometimes the yarmulke.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
But anyway, interesting. I will give that a look. We started a docuseries last night, which I know would normally sit in TV Tuesday, but I'm putting it in Theater Thursday adjacent because in the middle of it, they popped up this movie called All Good Things, which I saw back in 2010. I was obsessed with it. It was a Kirsten Dunst, Ryan Gosling movie. And I remember vaguely knowing that it was based on a true, or was supposedly based on a true-ish story at the time, but I never really went into it. And this all has a point because it's The Jinx. Are you familiar with The Jinx docuseries that came out in 2015?
I feel like
You've
I
heard
am.
of it?
I can't keep up with all of these docuseries.
Me
now.
neither. So it's over a decade or almost a decade old. And I just remember when it came out, the story was Robert Durst. And this is not going to be perfect because I purposefully am not Googling it because I don't want to know exactly what happened. But my brain seems to remember that this Robert Durst guy, who was a New York City real estate mogul family member, but was also maybe a murderer. I think he admits it. I think through the documentary, he gets caught finally admitting he's accused of killing a neighbor in Galveston, Texas, but then way back when, killing his first wife. His second wife ended up dead. We're 2 episodes in. His second wife was involved in, or her family had been involved in the mafia. And so he has 2 dead ex-wives, and he's going through this whole documentary. It's a 6-episode docuseries. We're on 2. But everything in my brain tells me that he ends up getting convicted because he accidentally gets caught saying something on camera.
I remember it.
So The Jinx 2 just came out. So they have rebooted the docuseries. The first episode dropped earlier this week. And I was listening to Bennett and Gary talk about it on the GP show. And Gary's like, to Bennett, you haven't seen The Jinx? And I also hadn't seen The Jinx. And so I convinced Chris to start it last night. And he was a little begrudging about it. But it's good. It's a good docuseries watch. It pulls you in. It paints the world very well. And this guy is, I have never seen a man with like darker, scarier eyes. His eyes are like little like black beady holes. And he has this like twitch that I don't know if it's a tell that he's lying, but anytime he's asked a question, which I assume he's giving, not assume, I would guesstimate he's giving a false answer. He's like, I'm like, dude, chill. But it's really interesting. And it took me back to this movie. And there's just those very weird, it was never a movie that got a ton of critical acclaim. But either the director or somebody with it had come to one of my classes at USC, and I begged my mom to go see it with me over Christmas break, and it was depressing as hell. And now I'm going to go revisit the movie, and I'm watching The Jinx. So throughout TV Tuesday, I will refer to this decade-long case. Or I guess technically it's a 40-plus year case at this point, because the first wife murder popped off in the 70s, 80s. And I feel so bad for this woman's friends who are still trying to solve her murder.
I think they've solved it.
I think they ended up solving it.
They know who did it.
I really do think that's what
they
it
just
happened.
want some justice.
Cannot confirm.
I watched, speaking of murder movies, I watched, they called him Mostly Harmless.
Which
that
one
is on HBO Max. It is a documentary. People stumble across a dead hiker in the Appalachian Trail, and he is emaciated, and he's a John Doe. And so there's a quest to try and figure out who this person is. When you're hiking on these trails, people don't use their real names. They use nicknames and nicknames that are given to them. And his nickname was Mostly Harmless. And so it's about an hour and a half long documentary about, hey, who is this person? How can we go about finding him? And it's, you remember, what was it? Don't F with Cats. You remember that one?
Yes.
It's like that, but not as climactic. All right.
Interesting.
So it is a bunch of people on the internet, a bunch of internet sleuths who I come away from feeling real bad for.
Oh, you feel bad for the internet sleuths?
Yes, because it doesn't seem like they have much going for them in terms of a life. And so they're trying to, so they talk about the beef between the 2 Facebook groups, how the 2 Facebook groups, though, end up piecing together some information, and they end up trying to find out who this person is. And then once they find out who this person is, it's not necessarily a good person. You don't feel really great about it. But there's a lot of misdirection involved. it's if you enjoy Don't F with Cats, it's this minus the good stuff, minus all the murder and the stuff like that going on.
Okay. I'll add that to my list. I've also added Challengers to my list, which drops today. That's the new Zendaya throuple movie. I don't know if they actually have a throuple in the movie, but it's Zendaya and her 2 little boys. I don't think they do either, but the photo of Zendaya with her 2 little white boys next to her, it's the tennis movie. The reviews that I have seen have been really, really promising. The Atlantic called it a sexy tennis thriller / really, because I know there was some thought when this trailer came out, like, is this going to be good? Is this and that, like, is this going to be kitschy? And apparently it's actually quite a great movie. And so I am excited to see the viral kiss scene in real life. But I also love sports. I love sports movies. And by nature, if a movie is centered around sports, this one's centered around tennis. There's no love in tennis, but there's love in this movie, according to the New York Times. Yeah.
There is love in tennis.
Love means nothing in tennis. It means everything in Challengers. Okay. What a line. What a line.
That's something there.
That's a writer right there.
Do you think we see something?
I don't know. I'm intrigued.
Okay.
Challengers shows you a new, nastier side of Zendaya, according to the Daily Beast.
When we say nastier,
I don't know what it means.
I think we mean mean.
It's provocative.
It's not provocative. I think we mean
She's
mean-spirited.
mean in Euphoria. She's a drug addict. Yeah.
Okay. Is she mean? Is she a mean
Yeah,
drug
she does.
addict?
Well, I mean, drug addicts sometimes do mean things to the people they love for the sake of continuing their addiction. You see her be mean to her sister and her mom.
All right.
I feel like I've seen Zendaya be.
So you think it's nasty, nasty?
I think it's nasty, nasty.
All right, watch it. Let me know.
Challengers is a sexy soap opera about a tennis love triangle.
Okay, well.
Challengers got major game.
What? Okay.
I don't know.
That's not as good as Love Means Nothing in Tennis.
Yeah, that was a good one.
Like, that's good. Okay,
Anyway.
let me know.
Okay, I will. We did get one piece of Inside Out news. Inside Out 2
Inside Out
news
2.
Of the original emotions that were all supposed to be used in Riley entering, what do you call it, teen age, tweendom. They were going to use shame and guilt, but, quote, it was not fun to watch. It was too heavy. Some things are just too difficult. That's for therapy, not for the movies.
We don't need that. It's bad enough we got anxiety.
Yeah,
we don't need all of the bad emotions.
I had my first, true story, being real, I had my first panic attack last night in like years. Like, I've really handled my panic attacks in a different way. I used to have them all the time. We can talk about it sometime during the summer. It's fun. But all of a sudden, I just turned to Chris last night and I was like, I think I'm having a panic attack. And I promise it wasn't spurred by Robert Durst and his creepy eyes, or at that point we were watching Thunder Pelicans, so that was not the part of it. I just think yesterday was a really heavy day around the country, but man, anxiety is a bitch. And for kids to start, I'm really excited to see all that to say how Inside Out 2 tackles that, because that is really when anxiety starts. But I feel like when you're a kid, you don't even recognize that it's anxiety. Like, you don't have a word for what you're starting to deal with, which is why when you're an adult, sometimes anxiety can hit you like a tidal wave.
What is it? How does it hit you?
For me, it feels like I'm gonna die, frankly. Like, I thought I had a brain aneurysm last night. And that's where my anxiety perpetuates itself, is because then I'm convinced, what if I am having a brain aneurysm? And then I'm Googling, like, I had like random like hearing go out in one ear.
You do that.
And I get this like little headache above the side of my eye. And then it's like this feeling of existential, like, you're gonna die. It used to be I thought I was gonna pass out. That's what used to happen to me early in my TV days. I'd be like anchoring a sportscast, and I'd be like, oh my God, I'm gonna pass out. And then you would just spiral from there. But I don't have them anymore. Until last night. Thanks a lot, Celtics. I'll blame it on the Celtics. Let's blame one more thing on the Celtics today.
Why not?
If the Celtics can lose to the Heat, what can happen to me? It's horrific. I'm excited for Inside Out 2. It's probably my most anticipated movie of the summer season.
That, Deadpool 2. Those two for me.
All right. It's NFL draft night. That's where the majority of our attention will be, but the NBA takes no breaks. It's all gas this postseason. So we also get 3 more NBA playoff games. You have Lakers, Nuggets, the nightcap, Knicks, Sixers at 6:30. We will see how that comes together following the insanity that was the end of game 2, as the Knicks have a 2-game lead on Philadelphia going into Philly tonight, and then Cavs Magic, our favorite by myself series, as we call it, exclusively on this show. Although, CJ, I did have many people reach out thanking me for reminding them of the Kristen Wiig skit from SNL. That's at 6. We'll be back tomorrow. It'll be a Friday. Thank God. Lang Whitaker will join us. Shout out Kaylee in the studio today.
Bye.
Okay. Can we put Kaylee on so she can say goodbye to the people? Take your hand off your mouth. You have the prettiest smile.
She got her braces off.
I know.
Also. Say bye to the people.
Say bye, Kaylee. Oh, look at her go. Bye.
Oh my gosh.
Oh my gosh.
Oh my gosh.
Kids
Whatever.
say the darnest things.
Oh, this one doesn't say anything. She'll
Kids
talk
say
when
the,
nobody's
kids say
watching.
the nothing things.